After 6 months of brutal cold, America's northwest coast is bathed in warm spring sun. It's awoken one of the elders of this arena. Brown bear. He survived the winter hibernating in his mountain den. He made the journey down into the Tidlelands a week ago, and his metabolism is ramping up. Over winter, he lost 1/3 of his body weight. He's starving, and he's on a mission to feed. He needs to make the most of these warmer months and bulk up before the cold returns. The best food for him after his long hibernation is sedge grass. It's packed with protein. So, this lush meadow is his lifeline. But the grass is just an appetizer. Later in the season, the stream running through it will be teeming with salmon. But keeping this feeding spot for himself won't be straightforward. Other bears are waking from their sleep, all looking for a place to feed. This time of year isn't just about eating. It's the time to re-establish hierarchy for the rest of the season. A large male is heading for brown bear's patch. Brown bear must eat 14 kilos of grass each day to gain the weight he needs. Fighting when he's this low on energy isn't the smart thing to do. He recognizes the outsider's scent, a male he's encountered before. Brown bear has learned to read the subtle posture changes that can reveal a rival's hand. And he knows his opponent is agitated. Brown bear tries to settle him with a stern paw. An all-out brawl could see both bears getting gravely injured. He turns his body side on, signaling that he's not looking for a fight. But the outsider wants to escalate. He senses an opportunity to advance up the social hierarchy. He grapples brown bear with his claws and teeth, a clear attempt to establish dominance. His loose pelt makes it hard for the challenger to keep hold of him. He lands a bite on brown bear's ear with enough force to crack a bowling ball. too much for brown bear to take. Experience tells him that he doesn't need to meet every dominance battle head-on. Risking injury so early in the season isn't smart. So he backs away. For now. Brown bear has to concede a prime spot in this riverside meadow. He must now use his wisdom and experience to stake his claim on a new feeding spot elsewhere. As the spring sun warms this arena, creatures of all kinds are emerging to cash in on the improving conditions. Soaring over them all, bald eagle. She spent the winter further south, where the lakes remained ice-free. Now she's back to make the most of the spring weather that each year turns this bay into a rich fishing territory. For the past 12 seasons, she's successfully staked her claim here. Her 4 square kilometre territory is not just important for food, but also for continuing her bloodline. Sitting 50 metres up in a Douglas fir is the large nest she first built with her lifelong partner over a decade ago. Each year the pair return to raise a new brood of chicks. And this year's 8-week-old youngster is growing fast. With an extra mouth to feed, protecting her territory is of the utmost importance. The price for presiding over this prime fishing spot is a daily battle against opportunists. As spring progresses, competition will only get more intense. The Tidelands are about to undergo a dramatic transformation, inviting a host of new opponents into this arena. At high tide, deep water covers the tidal flats. Below the waterline, new arrivals are moving in. This is a toadfish. Each year the spring conditions lure millions of them to spawn along the coast. Right now, the toadfish are safely hidden underwater. But in the coming days, this shore will undergo a dramatic change, exposing a seafood feast that will attract predators of all kinds. Bald eagle must be ready to fight. While the fate of the animals above the waterline hangs in the balance, in the freshwater stream that feeds the estuary, there's another small but deadly creature preparing for a battle of its own. Dragonfly nymph. A 5-centimeter long aquatic hunter. She survived the winter by burying herself in the sediment. By entering a state of suspended animation, she was able to withstand the freezing temperatures. But now she's out. She's ready to feed. Her strategy? The ambush. Each of her huge eyes is made of 30,000 parts. 80% of her brain is dedicated to processing vision, giving her a 360-degree view of her world. She strikes the prey with her pincers in 10 milliseconds and drags it towards her mouth. This beetle releases a foul-tasting chemical. Nymph hopes to find a more palatable meal. Luckily, the spring conditions have delivered a bounty of newly hatched fish. The powerful grasp of Nymph's serrated jaws make it impossible for the fish to shake free. Only the most powerful of insects can hunt vertebrates. Her paired mouth parts grind together to slice through the flesh and bone. She cleans her weaponry, ready for the next meal. She must make the most of the springtime riches, because this year is Nymph's most critical yet. She's lived in this stream for 4 years, and if she can make it to summer, she'll shed her skin and emerge into a fully winged adult dragonfly. But to survive, she must be on her guard, ready to take on an age-old foe. Surviving the Tidlelands isn't just about powerful jaws and brute strength. Great blue heron's tactic is to slip beneath the radar. He's a 1 meter tall sneak thief, creeping on stilt-like legs, scanning the landscape with his powerful binocular vision. In the still water, he moves meticulously, without a ripple. He then waits, motionless, for any prey to wander close. The fish in these slow-moving streams are just small fry. Soon, a rare tide will offer up a bigger prize. The only snag, that fishing spot is closely guarded. Bald eagle's territory. Poaching fish from a territorial raptor will be a high-stakes game. Finally, the moment has come. The Tidelands begin their dramatic transformation. As water drains from the estuary, the tide starts to fall. But a few times a year, the tides here get supercharged. When a full or new moon passes close to Earth, its gravitational pull is amplified. The Perigean spring tide. The water level drops many meters below normal, exposing a 1.5 kilometer stretch of oyster beds. Thousands of toadfish are stranded and exposed across this vast tidal expanse. From the forests behind the beach, heron makes his advance towards the oyster beds. Bald eagle's long-distance vision is 8 times better than ours. She could spot a rabbit at 3 kilometers. If heron is spotted in her territory, he could be attacked, even killed. He pauses to scan the exposed tidal flat for dangers. These extreme low tides will only last a few days. To capitalize on the optimum fishing window, he needs to move now. The exposed oysters are razor sharp. But heron's long toes act like snowshoes, spreading his weight. His large eyes have a built-in zoom lens. He switches between telescopic and close-up vision to find fish caught in the tidal pools. A meaty toadfish. To defend itself, it extends its spiky dorsal fin. So heron uses his beak as a spear to sever its spinal cord. The activity hasn't gone unnoticed. With her nest nearby, bald eagle has a zero-tolerance, no-fishing policy. But heron is just getting started. His large stomach can expand to hold half his body weight in fish. Bald eagle's counter-strike kicks into gear. Soaring 100 meters above the bay, her keen eyesight allows her to calculate her exact angle of attack. She tucks a wing and dives at a speed close to 160 kilometers an hour. Only now does Heron clock the incoming attack. There's no time to swallow his catch. He throws his wings wide and wields his sharp beak. Eagle twists to dodge it and delivers a devastating body slam. Heron recovers to reclaim his fish and a mouthful of seaweed. Bald eagle is 3 times faster than heron, but heron is lightweight with superior endurance. With his 2-meter wingspan, he banks steeply, dodging the attack. Heron's heavy payload of fish is slowing him down. He can no longer keep hold of his pirated meal. Heron flees to the outer fringes of the bay. But bald eagle's problems are just beginning. The extreme low tides have drawn all comers from across the region. Adult and juvenile eagles from many kilometers away are arriving, hoping to fish here. And more great blue herons are arriving too. Her territory has become overrun. And the outsider eagles are trying to assert their dominance at this low-tide feast. With her nest nearby, bald eagle doesn't take kindly to trespassers. To reassert her rule, she must deliver a powerful show of strength. She fixes her sight on a large adult female with a beak full. Her target takes flight with the spoils. But Bald Eagle can't let her get away. The rival skillfully guards her catch with a mid-air barrel roll. Bald Eagle picks her moment, then goes all in, sending her opponent into a spin, forcing it to drop the meal. But the rival has traveled hundreds of kilometers for the chance to fish in this prime territory. She's prepared to fight. Bald Eagle locks onto her, dragging her to the ground. Then she circles back and rushes the rival, baring her powerful, crushing talons. The challenger is outmaneuvered and outdone. She flees. While the eagles have been squabbling, the bay has descended into chaos. And a familiar foe is taking full advantage. Heron. He's caught enough toadfish to sustain him for days. Stuffed with 1 kilo of food, he returns to the cover of the forests. Only when the tide turns will calm return to Bald Eagle's beach. Along the coast, Brown Bear is working the extreme low tide to his advantage. Following his nose, he locates a hidden treasure. Clams. Brown Bear's 10-centimetre long hooked claws aren't just for fighting, they're tin openers. It's a skill that only the smartest bears have mastered. Brown Bear shucks enough to take the edge off his hunger. But clams are a labour-intensive food. And a more enticing smell is in the air. With his face to the wind, Brown Bear follows his nose. His sense of smell is 7 times more sensitive than a bloodhound's. The part of his brain that identifies smells is 5 times bigger than a human's. And now, it's picked up the trail of something that could be the find of the season. In the stream above the estuary, Dragonfly Nymph is edging closer to the day she can fly away. But in this arena, nothing is guaranteed. Lurking in the weeds, another monster. Giant water bug. At 6 centimeters long, he's one of the largest aquatic insects on Earth. Twice as big as Nymph. And her biggest obstacle to reaching adulthood. He can take down prey many times his size. He'll even eat his own young. Fine hairs on Nymph's legs sense subtle changes in the underwater currents. They alert her to something large nearby. A potential meal? Curiosity lures her closer. Around a rock, the mystery creature becomes apparent. They each see the other as prey. Nymph makes the first move, but she's too close for her pincers to be effective. And Waterbug drags her underneath him to pin her. Nymph twists, allowing her to break free. Her tail end works like a jet ski, forcing out a pressured stream of water to propel her forwards. More agile? Maybe. But Waterbug is stronger. He pins her a second time and tries to use his needle-like beak to inject her with digestive saliva. Nymph's exoskeleton is covered in a tough armor plating. Waterbug searches for any soft spot to insert his beak. Nymph is unable to wrestle free, but there's a lifeline. She can breathe underwater through gills in her abdomen. Waterbug is an air breather. The battle is sapping his oxygen. If Nymph can keep up the fight, Waterbug will be forced to break for the surface. He adjusts his body to reach up. It's all Nymph needs to break free. Deploying a snorkel from his rear, Waterbug breathes in as fast as he can. He traps air under his wings like a scuba tank, then races to find Nymph. But he's too slow. Nymph's camouflage is like a cloak of invisibility. She disappears into the murk. She's now one day closer to gaining her wings. 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗱 must continue his hungry hunt. Brown bear has followed the alluring scent trail. A whale, washed up in a recent storm. $20 tons of highly calorific meat. It's a gold mine. But there's a catch. Someone else has discovered it too. A large male and 2 females, enjoying the feast of a lifetime. The male tolerates females sharing the carcass with him, as they aren't a threat to his place in the hierarchy. There's a high chance they'll allow him to mate with them too. If Brown Bear wants a place at this table, he must fight for it. Ears forward and mouth open, he makes his intentions clear. This time, he's ready for an all-out brawl. The females sense they won't be able to eat in peace and move off. But the big male stands firm. Each bear weighs over 450 kilos. Their front legs are the strongest of any predator, and their jaws are capable of killing bison and wolves. But taking on one of their own kind is a different story. Brown Bear, in the left corner, senses they're an even match. To assert his dominance, he must convince the opponent that he's tougher. The opponent rises on his hind legs to over 2.5 meters tall, but he can't keep a footing amongst the boulders. Brown Bear swipes at his legs, trying to knock him off balance. The challenger is wrong-footed, and Brown Bear pushes him back into the water. Dominance fights like this are won by wearing down the opposition. It's a drawn-out wrestling match, with each bear trying to tire the other into submission. Brown Bear's relentless biting and pawing is overwhelming his competition. Slowly exhausting him. His rival is outbattled and drained of energy. While the defeated male nurses his wounds, brown bear tucks into his 20-ton prize of whale meat. The blubber alone contains some 8,000 calories per kilo. He'll gain close to 3 kilos with each sitting, ensuring he'll be sufficiently fat to survive the next winter. The wolves will have to make do with the scraps. Brown bear's successful display of dominance hasn't gone unnoticed. A female has returned to show her interest. And with the competition now long gone, these two can be left in peace. All across the Tidelands, the good weather has delivered on his promise. Under the golden sun, daring strategies have allowed the boldest and the bravest to reap great rewards. Once more, calm has returned to the tidal flats, and new chapters are being written. These animals have won their battles, and their prize? To live another day and survive another winter in America's wild tidelands.